EA Sports. It's in the game.
What's up, peoples? It's Dave the Gamer. I'm here at EA Sports Upfront event. I'm here with Ian from EA Sports. I'm about to talk about Madden 10, or is it 2010?
Madden NFL10, yep.
Okay. So, every year Madden's come out, and there's always been a new game mechanic. There's always been focus on the passing, focus on the defense, focus on everything, the detail, the players, the animations. What's new about Madden NFL 10?
Well, there's a lot of new stuff. But I think for us it was key to innovate within the football space. What about our game was not true to real life football? And so we stepped back and said fight for every yard was kind of our key message, our key focus for the game. How do you deliver fight for every yard? That can mean a million different things. But for us it was really that intense battle that happens once a tackle starts, or the intense battle in the line play. There's just all these little moments that happen that we weren't realistically recreating in Madden. And so for us, a gang tackle in our game and any other football game had been two defenders and a ball carrier. That's the best you could ever do. So we said, well, how do we make that bigger? How do we make that better? And we went to a new technology and just started from scratch creating this new technology called ProTack. So it stands for procedural tackling, and it really allows us to basically do 3 to 9 man gang tackles. So it's not like it's a canned sequence. It's truly dynamic. It's truly procedural. It can be steered and pushed around in any number of different outcomes. So that was the key detail, ProTack. How do we use that? How does that change the way you play? So once we did that, we have this technology to steer players around, to have them interact, to do these crazy cool gang tackles. Where else can we use it? So right away blocking came up, pass blocking. Something, again, we felt like we hadn't accurately recreated. We hadn't done the NFL, the sport, the service. So, forming a true pocket is not a really simple thing to solve. You can add a bunch of animations, but then it feels like you're out of control. You can add all kinds of different controls and mechanics and stuff like that, and that's not necessarily the way. So using the same steering technology that we applied for our procedural gang tackles, we added that to the line as well.
So now you'll see the big tackle, the big running backs like Brandon Jacobs and stuff like that really matter, and you have to get on them to bring them down.
Huge. That was the key focus. The Brandon Jacobs, why use him in the past? Why not just go draft a 99 speed guy and just get rid of Jacobs? Well, Jacobs is a beast. I mean, he takes 2 or 3 guys to bring him down nearly every time he runs the ball, and I think that's what we're recreating here. So when we went to blocking, it was the same kind of thing. What's the difference between a really big monster defensive tackle and a little speed rusher? So we said, all right, well, it's in that steering. It's in that dynamic movement of the animation. So if we've got an animation like an edge rush, we've never had before, we put the edge rush animation in, and now we can steer it dynamically. If it's a really good defensive end, a Freeney, he can drive the guy right into the quarterback's face. If it's a really good tackle out there against a kind of sub-bar defensive end or maybe a linebacker, he can totally steer him way outside and keep the pocket nice and clean for the quarterback to maneuver him.
Cool. Those are a lot of the details that the real Madden players will pick up on, and they'll appreciate that you can finally do these things. But what are some of the things for the casual fans that they play Madden just because it's football season?
Well, I mean, there's a lot along with that. So there's another control called QB avoidance, something we've done similar things to in the past, but we felt like this year we're adding a new pocket. The casual gamer, it might be frustrating. How many years have people been playing Madden where they just snap it and they just haul ass back 20 yards?
Yeah.
So it's okay, we got to get them to stay in the pocket. How do we help them out? So we added a new avoidance mechanic. It's just a real simple right stick flick up, left, down, right to stay in the pocket, and you can break tackles out of that as well. So as the pocket closes in, the controller starts to rumble, let you know, like, oh crap, here it comes. And now you can flick out of those sacks instead of just getting sacked over and over and over again. So that helped a lot. I mean, and also the steering we added to tackles as well. So that's not really a hardcore mechanic. It's not anything crazy. It's like, oh, you're getting tackled. You can try and drive the guy upfield. As a defender, you can drive the guy out of bounds. So it's not like I think in pretty much every other game, every other football game, when a tackle starts, the play's over. So now we really changed that. It's not over at all. You can go switch and get another defender and come in and gang tackle him, or you can try and push him out of bounds. Totally different there. And then one more casual thing, I guess, but I think it applies to everybody, is the fight for the fumble. Something, again, we've just never had in any game is like a fumble happens, one guy falls on it, and plays over. That's terrible. So now we actually have a real pile. You can fight for the fumble in there with like a little kind of button mechanic. We're working that out, whether it's going to be a masher or just ratings based. So we're still working on that. We got plenty of time. But that's where I think you're going to get a lot more fun factor. And just these experiences happen every Sunday in football. It's not like it's something that's way out there. It's something that every football fan knows, and they see it, and it hits home with them.
Well, I know the man himself has just retired recently.
Yeah.
How does that affect the franchise? And are you guys doing a tribute for him? Because I know a few years ago you guys had the Madden edition. Like, is there something?
There's nothing to announce really there. I don't even know. I'm just a designer on the game. But I do know that having him retired actually I think will probably help us. He's even said that he wants to be more involved with the game. He's always helped us every year with design direction and feedback and stuff. But you're looking for the future. If he's free all year, we could use him for a new mode. We could use him for anything. So.
Yeah, definitely has more time on his hands now. But the franchise is definitely in good hands, and it looks like you're moving forward in the right direction. We're looking forward to seeing more from Madden NFL 10. Thanks a lot.